I wanted to share this clip with you where I talked to one of my students, and he's currently making around $200,000 per month. However, he doesn't really want to be on camera or publicly known. That's why he's going to be blurred. But the really interesting parts about this call are going to be three things. The number one thing he asked me is, what is my why? So why do I do all of this? Why do I do the mentoring? Why do I do the dropshipping? Why do I keep doing things even though in theory I could stop and still live from the passive incomes? All right. So why do I actually do it? The second thing is going to be me debunking the whole why question, because it's such a huge excuse for so many people in the beginning who don't make it profitable. They just say, all right, I didn't have a strong enough why, I don't have the why, that's why I'm not motivated. Bullshit, all right? Here I'm going to specifically talk about that and why that's the case. The last thing we talked about was how I actually react when friends or family of mine start to also want to do dropshipping and ask me for advice. This is very interesting, and you're going to get a lot of value out of it if you actually listen to what I say, because it's so important to understand those concepts, and you're going to see what I'm talking about when you watch it, all right? So first of all, watch the whole thing, and yeah, let's get started.
So with you, what are your long-term goals?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't have that why thing. I just do it. I don't have the whole, I don't believe in the whole, you need to have a why, you need to understand why you're doing things. I just do it. I just do it, and I love it, and it's fun to me, and that's it. I don't need more. And it's an invention of mostly people who want to teach somebody to beginners, where they say, okay, you need this why, or else you're not going to keep doing it. Maybe for other people it is like that, but for me, I don't have a why. I have enough of everything at the moment. I'm still keeping I just enjoy it. So yeah.
So your purpose is just being present, basically, just enjoying what you have.
I hope so. Yeah, but basically I genuinely love the thing I'm doing right now. Especially the mentoring, I burn for that. I enjoy that even more than e-com, because it's just so it's very, very fulfilling seeing making those crazy impacts on people, and I genuinely love teaching. And also the whole maybe we were talking about that last call, but basically about solving a problem, there's always two things. Number one is solving the problem, so actually going in there and doing the thing which is required, and the other thing is finding the answer and finding the solution, which is completely different than solving the problem. And I kind of enjoy the part of not solving it, but actually finding solutions for problems which are hard to find solutions for. And I'm really good at that, but pretty bad at solving them, actually. And that's why I kind of love the mentoring, because it's me telling people exactly what to do and they figure out how to do it. But I'm there to provide the solution, and then you solve it, So I love that.
So you're a big picture guy.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I'm not perfectionistic at all. I'm just this whole the Pareto principle of 80-20. If you know it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've heard it where it's 80-20 of 80-20. If you niche down to the 20%, if you do from those 20%, again only 20%, and you're there with 2 or 5% or whatever it is. If you only do that, you're still gonna make 60% of everything, and that's doing almost nothing. And that's just those little things which are the most impactful ones. So I kind of try to focus only on that. If you look at my YouTube video, almost the video has a mistake in it. There's a shitty cutting error. It's fine. It's not about that, So yeah. Also my ads, the constantly there are mistakes in there which I just approve. Do it, fuck it. And as long as the core is there.
I was gonna ask, do you help your students the same way you help people on your team? Do you coach them the same way?
No, I don't require as much. I'm not pissed at anybody who doesn't do what I tell them if they're not in the team. If I don't pay them, if they pay me, it's their fault if they don't apply, So it's a little bit different. And in the team, I'm a little bit more harsh on people who don't do things properly. but yeah, I kind of try to be as direct and as honest as possible, also to the people who are in the coaching, because it's the easiest way to get, and it's normally people like to like sugarcoat or like be too nice to people, when in reality it's like, for example, one student of mine just told me like a couple of days ago that he messed up with like taxes, and he was telling me that he was spending a bunch of money when in reality he had like, that's the money he was supposed to lay off for taxes. And the first response was like, okay, you're fucked. You have a really, really big problem, and there's nothing good about your situation. I didn't try to like make him feel nice and tell him, okay, you're gonna make it fine. It's fine. It's all good. No, like right now he's a big problem, and he has to do a couple of things to solve it. Basically, make way more money very quick, because you already had the foundation. He was making like 10K per day. He can do it, but he was lazy about a lot of things. So it's like the chances of him actually doing what he needs to do are just way higher if I'm going to be very direct and exact and tell you, okay, you fucked up. This is a big problem, and if you don't do this, you're going to be screwed. In Germany, like if you don't do taxes properly, you're done. Like I know so many people who actually got like really bad repercussions after not paying taxes properly. It's a very big thing. We pay like 45% taxes at least. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best compliments I literally ever got was I was sitting in the hotel. I was sitting in the lobby there, and I was training someone, and someone came up to me and said, "Oh, are you a teacher?" And I was like, "Oh shit."
You didn't tell me about that.
Yeah. It was, it's like, no, I'm not a teacher, but like, maybe I should take that mindset. Maybe like that's the thing I should identify with. You know, I'm just teaching people.
Yes.
What I know, hopefully learning some stuff along the way too.
Exactly. And the most important part about like doing that is kind of not putting yourself above people while still helping them, you know, because it's a very fine line between being a teacher and telling somebody what to do when they didn't ask for it. And there's also at some point I struggled with it, where I constantly had all these calls, and I constantly had to tell people what to do because that's what I'm for. And then I started to do that for people which didn't ask me, like my friends or family, and they did not ask. So I understood that, and I stopped, because it's so annoying when you don't ask for opinions and you get every opinion.
Unsolicited advice.
Yes.
I'm just imagining you like walking around and coaching your mom.
You do this.
Coaching like your parents and your friends.
Yes.
It's like, be like, okay, how can I help you today? What questions do you have?
Yeah.
The consulting never ends. It's so funny.
But it's whatever, you know, like at this point I try to just like, when people ask, I'm glad to help. And also the main thing is, did you encounter people who wanted to do e-commerce because of you guys, like friends and family, and who didn't do it, like who wanted to do it but didn't do it?
Yeah.
Like a lot of them?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, like everybody.
Did you waste time on them?
Not a crazy amount, but
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I wasted so much time on people who told me like, okay, that you should do like, which told me that they're into it, they're super motivated. At this point, I don't want to take money from friends, but I tell them to donate like at least a couple of thousand, or even like if I know they don't have much, tell them, okay, donate $500 to whatever company you want to, and then you can start work. Like then I'm going to help you, because before that you don't have any commitment. And it's the same with like even these calls here. If you guys wouldn't pay, you would probably not really listen as much. You know, you wouldn't record, you wouldn't put your time, you wouldn't for sure come. It's like it's a different approach as long as you don't pay.
Yeah. That's why I paid so early.
Yeah.
I do that with any like coaching I sign up for. I like when I feel it, I pay it, after I think about it, because I know that the feeling is going to go away, and then I'm going to not want to pay anymore.
Yeah.
So
That's what you're supposed to close on the first call.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So we should actually talk to everybody that expressed interest and see if they're still interested, and then tell them to hop on a call with like Michael.
Yeah.
Do you usually like have you found experience closing people that haven't done e-commerce before?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what percent of people working with you start off with you?
Like complete newbies, I would say like 30.
Percent?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. All right. That's cool. Yeah. If anybody, just like how you're referring people to our warehouse, whenever they hear about, whenever you hear about like anything fulfillment related, we're gonna do the same because we're not planning on coaching e-commerce ever because we already have enough. At least for me, I have enough on my plate between like e-com and just becoming like a better leader and manager, and I think is right now on the journey of being better at sales. And I think that's something I'd like to also just understand the principles of better. So for us, we don't really have time to like teach people e-com. Like I didn't even have time before. Like they would ask me, I'd be like, hey man, like if the motivation isn't coming from like inside of you enough to go like on YouTube every day and watch like hours of videos, then it's just not going to work out for you. Like I've said that word for word to so many people. Like I've told them like that's how it has to come. Like you have to be so motivated to the point where you go on YouTube every day and you're like watching videos for like 5 hours a day. You've watched like every single video on YouTube. They're like that's how much you want it. And I told them if you don't want it that much, it's just not going to work. So
for sure. Yeah, we appreciate. All right, guys.
All right.
Was good. Was a good talk.
Perfect. Yeah, always a pleasure. Always a fun call.
And then talk to you next week at some point. Have a great day, guys. Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Peace.
Bye.